So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jose Oropeza, and I'm running for Fremont City Council District 1. So just a little bit about me. My wife and I both work in public service. She's a kindergarten teacher, and I am a civil engineer, project engineer with the Alameda County Water District. As to why I decided to run for Fremont City Council, I want to work on the toughest issues, the issues that are facing not just our city, but the Bay Area in general, which is traffic and, a lack of affordable housing. And so I think I bring a unique perspective as a civil engineer. That's my technical background, right? I studied traffic engineering, I studied construction, geotech, structural. So I have that solid background, and I think I bring that unique perspective that'll be a huge asset with the city council. And so in general, I just want to work together with all of the elected officials on the city council and make sure that we can actually find suitable solutions so that our city can continue to become a great city where people of all income levels can continue to work and afford to live here. And so I welcome your support, and once again, thank you to the Muslim Democratic Club for hosting this event.
Assalamu alaikum. Hi everyone. Thank you for Muslim Democrats. Is it further?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. My name is Chandu Siramdas. I'm running for City Council from District 1 in Fremont. And I'm a community leader. I have been serving for various non-profit organizations for the last 15 years. And I'm a chairperson, serving as a chairperson. And we are the first organization who organized and organizing Iftar party also in entire United States of America. And I have a family. My husband is a senior executive, and I have 2 grown-up children who are in the college right now. And I have the issues that I wanted to emphasize because I have a confidence that I can represent people's issues, and I understand grassroots levels of issues of the residents of Fremont. That's why I'm emphasizing on 3 issues that. Thank you.
Hi everyone, thank you again for the Muslim Democratic Club for hosting the event today. And so my name is Teresa Kang. I came to Fremont area when I was 15 years old. I'm a first generation immigrant. And so because my parents at the time, they were going, back and forth between Asia and here. So my church family and the community in Fremont in general has helped raise me, and now it's time for me to give back. So in the last 20 years, I have been doing a lot of community, like mostly in my church, and then expanded to now in my business. I have organized free kids summer camps, moms group, taught English to senior citizens, and also and so I am really glad that Fremont is doing a district voting this year, because in North Fremont we haven't had any representation for the last 12 years, and we need more services especially for our seniors and our children. We need more services for them in our neighborhood, so they don't have to drive 30 minutes to the senior center in the south. And so I want to also help get more. Oh, okay.
Sorry, 60 seconds goes quick when you're up here. I do also want to mention District 1 encompasses most of North Fremont, mainly the Ardenwood area. So we'll start off with Chandu. Your first question is, as you see it, what are the main challenges facing the city of Fremont, and how would you address each challenge? And you have 60 seconds to respond.
Yes, we have 3 issues right now, the Fremont residents of Fremont facing. Number 1, traffic congestion. Number 2, public safety. And number 3, affordable housing. So I'm going to address these 3. Like traffic congestion, we can do, expansion of park and ride program and reprogramming the signal system. And also, I want to partner with public transportation, school buses, and also encourage the BART. Also, I want to partner with BART and public transportation, and also Dumbarton project also, like Dumbarton Corridor project. And also, we need to build the housing next to the transit so that we can avoid the traffic. And number two, the public safety, we have to have the more police officer, and also increase the frequency of.
So the top three issues for me is we need to improve public safety, which I'm proposing for North Fremont to have a substation so that we can have faster response time for the incidents happening in North Fremont. And also affordable housing is on the top agenda as well, because we need to enforce, I agree that we need to enforce not just the in-due fee, but to build those units at the spot so it's not delayed. And we need to also have workforce housing so that our teachers and our public service personnel can be able to afford housing locally. We also need to have to improve our traffic locally. We need to update our traffic system so that it is not we're not sitting for the light to change when there's no cars on the other side, but also it's a response time, and also to have more mass transit in place so that we can use less cars.
So I think that two of the biggest issues that the city is dealing with is a lack of affordable housing, and then just in general transportation issues. So with regards to housing, we have a significant amount of housing that's being built. The problem is it's not affordable housing, and so when we have every single unit being built roughly either over 1,000 square feet, and the starting price is at $1 million, not everybody can afford that type of housing. So we need to be able to provide more affordable housing for our workforce, and then we need to make sure that we build higher density housing around transit hubs. And so I think that's one of the ways that we can solve that issue. Now, as far as transportation, we can't widen our streets. We don't have the space to do that, but we can improve our infrastructure. And so that means implementing traffic control cameras, expanding our bicycle system. So I know that next year, the city is in works of contracting with Lime scooters, and then just implementing and expanding on our bicycle system so that we can continue to develop other means of transportation to be able to get that last mile to mass transit like BART.
Thank you. The next question, we'll start off with Teresa. I think all of you have alluded to this. Do you believe that Fremont should continue to build more housing? And if so, where and what type of housing should be built? And you have 45 seconds.
Okay, so I did study economics in college and at UCLA, and the housing prices, it's a supply and demand. If we're not continuing to build more housing to help with for the demand, the pricing are gonna continue to go up. So, but we need to include in that, we need to enforce and perhaps put in more percentage of the affordable housing that is required for the developers. And we also need to make sure that we have the infrastructure to support the housing development.
Can you repeat the question? Yeah, absolutely. Do you believe that Fremont should continue to build more housing? And if so, where and what type of housing should be built? And you have 40 seconds.
So I do believe that we need to continue to construct more housing. I think that in general we need to focus on transit-oriented development, and then we need to focus on a wide array of construction. So not just these high-end condos and high-end townhomes. We need to be able to build, an array of homes for people that are single, people that have families, and be able to serve the entire community. So Teresa mentioned supply and demand. That plays a huge part into the system, but we also have to consider that pricing is also a huge issue. It doesn't help us to have thousands and thousands of homes being built if the starting price is over at $1 million. I can't afford it. I'm a civil engineer. My wife's a teacher. We can't afford it, and I can imagine that a lot of the workforce in our community can't afford to live here. And so we have to be able to address that and make sure that everyone can continue to live and work here.
Yes, definitely we have to. We have to have the more housing. It has to be close to the transition, and especially affordable housing for seniors, senior citizens, and workforce people who cannot afford for housing. So we definitely need to encourage more housing. It has to be close to the transit so that they don't need to walk, they don't need to take the car, and that's why it's they can also save some money, and it has to be very, very planned unit growth. So that's why I want to encourage more housing.
And the final question for our candidates, and I think we're starting with Jose. This is a 30-second response, so quite short. Are you supportive of Fremont's transition to district elections over at-large elections?
I am in support of that. I think that it gives the community a better feel of representation. It allows each council member to have a more intimate relationship with the constituents, with the neighbors, and it allows you to get to know the neighborhood. I know that for my campaign, we've been walking and knocking door to door, and the response that we've gotten is overwhelmingly positive. People like to feel like they matter, and each neighborhood has distinct issues. We all know about traffic and development, but each neighborhood has unique issues that sometimes are as simple as just a simple modification, a simple change, and it'll improve the quality of their life.
Can you ask the
Yeah, I can repeat it. Are you supportive of Fremont's transition to district elections over at-large elections?
Yes, district elections are going to help a lot to the residents, whoever living, it's a district wise, right? So I'm representing from District 1. So I'm knocking on the doors. Already I knocked about 8,000 homes, and I checked with most of the residents. They are all talking about this. So it's very fair to have and represent from district wise, so that we understand, and especially I'm living in District 1 for the last 17 years and in living in Fremont for the last 20 years.
So yes, I am supportive, and actually I'm very appreciative of the district voting, because like I said, in the last 12 years and currently we don't have any representation from our district, and also in the whole in the history of Fremont, I believe there's only one person that has been from our area. And so we haven't had any new facilities being built in our area. We don't have any community space. All the community centers are in the central or south Fremont. The police station is very far from us. So most of the public facilities, services are very far from us. So, okay, sorry. Yes, so thank you.
Please join me in giving a warm hand to our candidates. Next up, we're going to be